Hello, students. I hope you would be able to understand the video. So, let's take the second part of our freedom chapter. In previous part, we have discussed about the Mandela and Aung San from South Africa and Myanmar, respectively. They saw the freedom as they have faced the situation before them. Mandela faced the segregation policies and apartheid system in their own country, and Aung San faced a fear in their own country, in her own country. So they understand the freedom in their own meaning. Mandela really walked along uh, to get freedom, and also the Aung San paid really very tough part of her freedom for their countrymen. So, what is freedom? The simple question, but have the really hard answer. So, let us explain. Let us see what is freedom. The simple answer to the question what is freedom is absence of constraints. Constraint means objection, obstacle, which we are to imposed by our parents, friends, society. So, freedom is said to exist when external constraints on the individual are absent. If there is no one to if there is someone to stop our action or what we want to do, so that is called the external constraints. So where is the absent of these is stopping or rokto. So it is said that we have the freedom to do anything. An individual could be considered free if he or she is not subject to external control and is able to make independent decision and act in an autonomous way. Autonomous means what what is wishing he can do. So, however, absence of constraints in is only one dimension of freedom. But the absence of this stopping or obstacle or having objection of others is only the one part of our freedom. Freedom is also about expanding the ability of people to freely express themselves and develop their potential. If a student wants to be a painter or doctor or engineer, if and he is free to complete his wish, so we can say that he got the freedom, and having been free we can develop our skills and activities more clearly and more effectively. A free society would be one which enables all its members to develop their potential with the minimum of social constraints. A free society where a person or children or a student or anyone If he wants to be a doctor, engineer, or painter, or whatever he wants, so society will not, if the society will not pose obstacles on his wish, so that is called the free society, and there will be the minimum of social constraint. No individual living in society can hope to enjoy total absence of any kind of constraints or restrictions. There are some objections, some restrictions are there in any society, and no one can live without these restrictions. To understand which social constraints are necessary, discussion on freedom need to look at the core relationship between the individual and the society. It may be a group, community, or state. A state means our country. So, which social constraints are necessary and which are not? Discussion on freedom need to look at the core relationship between any individual, how we connect with our society or group or community. That is the main thing between the constraints and freedom. We would need to see which feature of the society allow the individual the freedom to choose, decide, or act, and which do not. Uh, if a person want to be a thief, will the society allow? No. If a person wants to be a teacher, a doctor, the society also appreciate, because they always see the benefit of this work, what they will get. The main purpose to say which act of yours is beneficial to the society or which is harmful. Let's take a look. A free society is one that enables one to pursue one's interests with a minimum of constraints. In a free society, we can do what we wish with a minimum constraints. Freedom is considered valuable because it allows us to make choices, to exercise our judgment. With a free mind, we can decide more effectively, more efficiently what we wish to do. It permits the exercise of the individual's power of reason and judgment. This freedom also exercises the individual's power to reason and judgment. From where the constraints come, the sources of constraints. Restriction on the freedom of individuals may come from domination and external control. If someone from outside, whether it is our parents, society, friends, relatives, anyone can be, such restrictions may be imposed by force or they may be imposed by a government through laws which embody the power of the rules. As we face the rule regulation in our daily life, they are what you think? They are to bound, they give the foundation to us or they help us to live a simple and ruled life, safe life, as the government says that always walk left side on the road. So it is for our safety, or the government shows its power to us. Think. And this type of restrictions are hard when the government is not democratic, as we have read about some rulers in our history chapter. So many rulers were there to who killed the people, innocent people, and who imposed the taxes and revenue were taken brutally. But if the government is a democratic one, the members of the state could retain some control over their ruler. As we see in our today's uh, politics, or as we saw the last year Kisan Andolan. So there is a people have the power to restrict the government. They have control on them. But constraints on freedom also result from social inequality of kind implicit in the caste system. As we know that in our previous society, in Hindu Samaj, the society was divided in four caste system, and they were Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. So there were huge inequalities among these castes, and the least level of the are the Shudra, which they were imposed many restrictions on them, and they could not enter the temple, they could not roam in market. So they were considered as the least part of our society. So now question is, why do we need constraints? Is it is necessary some type of constraints in our life? So every society needs some mechanism to control violence and settle disputes. Okay. So long as we are able to respect each other's view and do not attempt to impose our views on other, we may be able to live freely and with minimum constraints. So as we think about ourselves, we should think to others in that way. And if we respect the others' ideas, views, their needs, so there is a minimum constraints in our society. If we think only about ourselves, the society will restrict our freedom. Take a look of another views. In a free society, we should be able to hold our views, develop our own rule of living, and pursue our choices. But the creation of such society too requires some constraints. At the very least, it requires that we be willing to respect differences of view, opinions, and beliefs. So we have to respect the views of others, their belief. However, the important question is to identify which constraints on freedom are necessary and justifiable and which are not. Which type of restriction we have or which type of not. To answer these questions satisfactorily, we have to address the issue of limits, competence, and consequences of the imposition. कोई भी सोसाइटी जब अपना रेस्ट्रिक्शन लगाती है तो हमें सबसे पहले ये देखना चाहिए कि उसके क्या रिजल्ट्स होंगे. क्या उसका कोई बेटर रिजल्ट होगा अगर इफ़ आवर ट्रैफिक पुलिस सेज दैट यू शुड drive in a limited speed, so will it be safe to others and also for us or harmful? So we have to observe what restrictions imposed to us on us and for what will be the result of this imposition. So it's enough for today, I think, and comment your present in comment section. Okay guys, have a nice day.